Hi everybody, I hope you're doing well this Friday night. It's actually only like 5:30, but it's like all dark. I just wanted to talk briefly about voter fraud because, you know, we have MSNBC, we have different news outlets trying to brainwash America and say these are baseless complaints, this is unfounded, this is not happening, these are baseless claims. You know, just the media, communist-owned media, loves to try to hide the criminality of communism and socialism, which Biden is made up of, including communist China. Communist China owns Hollywood, guys. All these celebrities hating our president, they have to go with the agenda, and that's the agenda. And if they don't, they get blacklisted, they might even get killed. You know, they go after these people in the media and start trashing them and taking them down. So Donald Trump Jr. came out and said that the voter fraud will be handled judiciously in the Supreme Court, judiciously, as it should be. Now, I don't care about the fake ass media. I'm very aware of it. I'm very aware how it works. I'm very aware of the circle of other entities who are in the same circle of criminality. You got Hollywood, you got communist China, you got George Soros, you got Scientology, you got communism, you got the mob. You know, you got the darkest, most powerful entities that conduct the most heinous criminality against humanity, all in a circle of criminality, and they all stick together. And the media protects them because they're a part of it. So I saw Donald Trump Jr.'s tweets, and not only are they justified, but the constant attacks of fraud that our president has had to endure, whether it's on the debates, with the debate commission, not bipartisan, although they claim on their website they're supposed to be nonpartisan, but they're made up of Democrats. And then you've got the Republicans who are on the commission, but they're anti-Trump. So that's why the first debate was such a goddamn clown show with Wallace. So our president, they tried frauding our president during the debates. And this isn't the first time they've frauded a president in an election. This is not the first time they've frauded Republicans and other people running for office that are Republicans. The Democrats have been doing this for years. And you know, the American people are slowly learning how bad the corruption is with the satanic elite, the Democrats, the left radicals. And in fact, you know, Joe Biden brags about how proud he is.
Secondly, we're in a situation where we have put together, and you guys did it for our administration, the President Obama's administration before this. We have put together, I think, the most extensive and inclusive voter fraud organization in the history of American politics.
Let's hear that again.
Secondly, we're in a situation where we have put together, and you guys did it for our administration, the President Obama's administration before this. We have put together, I think, the most extensive and inclusive voter fraud organization in the history of American politics.
Now, there's been a number of situations that spies, people undercover, observers, at the polls are catching the fraud. It goes from the post office, postmarking dates, so they can still send in these ballots that are fraud, stolen for Biden, stolen from people who have died, people who have moved, people who are elderly. They're just taking these ballots, canvassing neighborhoods. They're doing everything they can to steal this election. And this is exactly why Hillary was saying Biden will not concede. Biden's not going to concede. So when the American people see the harvesting of fraud, where someone goes and picks up the ballot from an elderly person's house, or someone who is physically handicapped, they can't deliver it themselves, and there's someone, a harvester, going to go pick it up, there's already been proof that these people harvesting, picking up these ballots, are trying to get these people to vote for Democrats, for Biden. They have little gifts they're giving these elderly people, trying to befriend them. These ballots are being mass mailed out like junk mail, mass mailed out, because nothing has been updated. Nothing has been updated. And that's the way the Democrats want to go ahead and keep it. And they try to act like it's such a complicated thing to update this list, because they don't want to update it. We can send people to the moon. These Democrats can manage to traffic and kidnap hundreds of thousands of children a year, torture them and drink their adrenochrome. But they can't update this mass listing. So, you know, as I go through the internet and I see the fake news trying to twist the facts of voter fraud and make it seem like our president is being unreasonable and lying, and trying to make it seem like Donald Trump Jr. is completely crazy and just running his mouth, you know, the American people, the people of America are not going to put up with this. We're not going to put up with the fake media lying about voter fraud, that it doesn't exist and it's not happening. Especially when these observers at the polls are told to go away, they can't watch, they have to be tens and tens of feet away, and they can't really see what's going on. And all of a sudden, in the middle of the night, as these packages and tons of ballots are being delivered and postmarked on purpose so they can be counted in, all of a sudden during that time, Biden is winning. Come on, guys. So America, we have to speak up. We have to be doing our social media videos. If you experience fraud, definitely make a video. There is an 800 number, or a number that is posted on the internet that you can, the RNC has a number. You can go ahead and you can call that number and report voter fraud. If anyone has died in your family, you know, there are websites, Ballot Tracks and other websites where you can put in your significant other, a relative or whatnot, their birth date, their name. And if they've passed away and it shows they voted, you know, that's been happening to a lot of people that are coming out and saying, my mom died, but somehow she voted. You know, people are upset because the Democrats are shameless. They don't have a conscience. So if there happens to be a lawsuit where the Americans can come together, American people can come together and say, we're not going to tolerate this, and we want to fight this fraud in our election, I'd like to know about it, because I'd like to be a part of that, and I'd like to help any way I can. So, you know, again, you know, we have Chris Christie of New Jersey, you know, talking crap about our president, criticizing our president. for our president sticking up for his rights and for the rights of the American people. You know, I can't stand Chris Christie. He is such an attention whore. And he even blamed the president for him catching COVID. Chris Christie, a 300-pound plus grown-ass man who's asthmatic, didn't take responsibility for himself and wanted to blame the president for Chris Christie catching COVID. This guy has no goddamn shame. And I did a video on him too. I could see someone who's out, who's been bribed on the back end and just has it out for the president and wants to cash in on that and manipulate the masses with lies. So you guys, let's keep speaking out about this voter fraud. We're not going to allow it to determine the winner in this election. If we see any voter fraud, if we hear about it, whatever the case may be, report it to the RNC. Again, there's a number available. Again, you know, the mail harvesting where they're picking up ballots, they're frauding. There's video of that. The stealing of ballots. The post office is involved. Post offices across the United States. And the worst are the left radical states like Pennsylvania, Oregon, you know, I made a few videos in August and September about what was going to be happening with this. But I'm not going to sit back and allow for this to happen. And the rest of America, stand up for your country. Don't let these fake ass celebrities, fake ass media tell you how to think. You know why they do that? Because they can't think for themselves. They can't speak for themselves. They're owned by communist China. They're owned by communism, as is Biden. We don't want that shit in our country. And if Hollywood is so goddamn thrilled with that communism, they can move their goddamn asses to communist China, take a goddamn one-way ticket. And that goes for CNN and that Breonna Keller, that bitch. Nothing but lies. So let's stand up to this fraud. And I got to give props to Donald Trump Jr. He did a fabulous job on Fox yesterday. Fox during the evening. He really said it perfectly. He said it perfectly. He said what needed to be said. He sounded great and he looked great. So I'm very, very proud of him. We got to fight for our country, guys. So we're not allowing the Democrats to cheat us out of our election. Period. And again, as I leave you, I would just like to play this one more time and remind America how Biden's getting ahead in the election.
Impossible.
If I can get it.
Secondly, we're in a situation where we have put together, and you guys did it for our administration, the President Obama's administration before this. We have put together, I think, the most extensive and inclusive voter fraud organization in the history of American politics.
There you go. Alright guys, be good to each other and I'll see you on the next video. Bye guys.
If I gave you $25,000 today